A billionaire's wife demanded I give her my parking spot because I drive a more expensive car. When I refused, she blocked my car with her limo and scoffed, "Let's see how you get out now." The valet whispered, "Just move, she's crazy." I smiled, pulled out my phone, and said, "Then let's see how the tow truck handles this." I own a small antique shop in Charleston, South Carolina. Been here all my life. My granddad started this shop right after World War II, and I've kept it running since he passed. Not flashy, not corporate. Just old things with stories, and me trying to sell them. I've always lived a quiet life. Never been the kind of guy to cause a scene. But then she showed up. It was a Wednesday morning, hot and muggy. I had just backed my old Ford F-150 into the loading area behind the shop and was unloading a dresser from the 60s, clean lines, solid wood. That kind that never stays long. I parked in my spot. It's clearly marked. Big white letters on a metal sign. Reserved for shop owner only. It's my spot. Not an extra. Not a maybe. My name is on the lease, and I fought the landlord to get that spot back when the bakery next door kept, accidentally, using it. I'm halfway through dragging the dresser onto a dolly when this long, sleek, black Maybach limo starts creeping in. I watch, confused. It rolls slowly into my reserve space like it owns the place. I wave, thinking maybe it's a delivery or someone lost. The back window slides down. And there she is. Perfect makeup, big black sunglasses, hair curled and sprayed into submission. She looked like one of those women you only see on reality shows. I didn't know her name yet, but I'd find out later it was Candace Blevins. As in, married to Richard Blevins. Yes, that Blevins. Real estate tycoon, golf course mogul, donated a wing to the Children's Hospital Blevins. But at that moment, she was just some lady in my spot. I said, "Excuse me, ma'am, but that's my space. I've got deliveries coming." She barely looked at me. "I'll just be a minute." I walked up closer. "No, really, I need that spot. I've got furniture in the truck." That's when she really looked at me, like I had just crawled out of a dumpster. "You drive that," she said, eyeing my truck. "Yep," I said. "It's old, but it runs." She smirked. "I drive a Maybach. That's a $300,000 car. I think that gives me a little leeway, don't you?" "No, I don't," I said. "That's my spot. It's reserved." She stepped out of the car slow, deliberate, like she was stepping onto a runway. She walked right up to me, close enough I could smell her perfume, something sharp and expensive. "I'm not moving," she said. "And you're not going anywhere." Then she turned to her driver and said, "Block him in." The guy looked at me, then at her, and did what he was told. He reversed slowly until the limo was at an angle that boxed in my truck completely. No room to get out unless I drove through a brick wall or a tree. She looked back at me, arms folded. "Let's see how you get out now." I was speechless for a second. Not because I was scared, but because it was so petty. So ridiculous. That's when Marcus, the valet from the art gallery next door, came out. Young guy, maybe 22, always polite. He whispered, "Just move, man. She's crazy. You don't want the headache." I smiled, but not for him. I walked around the limo, pulled out my phone, and took pictures of the car, the plates, her standing right in front of the reserved sign. She saw me. "What the hell are you doing?" she snapped. "Calling the tow truck," I said. Her face changed fast. "You wouldn't dare." "Oh, I would," I said, already dialing. While I waited, I kept taking pictures. She was fuming. Kept muttering into her phone, maybe calling her husband. The driver didn't say a word. Just stared straight ahead like this was normal for him. Tow truck showed up 20 minutes later. Local company. Guy named Russ hopped out, took one look at the scene, and nodded at me. "You want it gone?" he asked. "Yup." Candace stormed up to him. "You touch that car and I'll see you into the ground." Russ shrugged. "Ma'am, this is private property. If he's the tenant and says tow it, we tow it." She looked at me like she wanted to slap me. Do you know who my husband is? I looked her dead in the eyes. Do you know what a reserved sign means? They towed it. Right out of there. Driver didn't say a word. Just stepped out and stood to the side while the limo got hitched and rolled away. Candace stood there, staring at the empty space like she couldn't believe it actually happened. Then she turned, got in the gallery, and slammed the door behind her. But that was just day one. She came back. And she didn't come back alone. 3 days later, I was back behind the shop, unloading a box of old silverware when I heard it. That slow, purring engine. I turned. Another black car. Not the same Maybach. This one was a Bentley SUV, all tinted windows and polished chrome. It didn't pull into my spot this time. It just idled in the alley. But when the door opened, I knew this wasn't over. Out stepped Candace. This time, she wasn't alone. There were 2 other women with her, both dressed like they were heading to some rich lady luncheon. One of them had a small dog in a designer bag. The other had a clipboard. Candace walked right up to me, same attitude as before, only now she looked more collected. Not calm, controlled. Like someone had told her to play nice, but she still hated every second of it. "Hello again," she said, all fake sweetness. I said nothing, just looked at her. "This is private property," I finally said. "And I'd rather not have another scene." "Oh, don't worry," she said. "I'm not here to block your precious truck. I'm here to talk business." She gestured to the woman with the clipboard. "This is Deborah. She represents my husband's real estate holdings." Deborah stepped forward and handed me a folder. "We're offering to purchase this building," she said. "Your lease is month to month, correct?" My stomach turned. She wasn't just coming for my parking spot anymore. She was coming for my entire shop. I opened the folder. There was a letter with a ridiculous number on it. At first glance, it looked generous. But I wasn't stupid. It was a buyout, just enough to make someone consider walking away, not enough to actually rebuild my life somewhere else. "You want to kick me out of my own shop, over a parking space?" Candace smiled. "Don't be dramatic. We've had our little misunderstanding. This is just business." "No," I said. "It's not." She didn't even blink. "You can take the offer. Or we'll make things harder." That stuck with me. Harder. Like a threat wrapped in a smile. They left after that. Quiet, no more drama. But the message was clear. I embarrassed her, and now she wanted me gone. At first, it was little things. City inspectors started showing up. Fire code. Building code. Zoning. Every week, someone new knocking on my door with a clipboard and a stern face. One of them actually asked if I had a rodent license. I laughed in his face. The guy didn't laugh back. Then my power got shut off for 6 hours because of a billing error that I had to clear up myself. A week later, someone filed a noise complaint. During business hours. I sell old furniture and tea sets. I don't exactly blast music or run a nightclub. And then came the flyers. I found them taped to my windows one morning. Printed photos of roaches, moldy walls, and fake Yelp reviews about how my shop smelled like cat pee and had bugs crawling out of the couch cushions. They even created a fake Facebook page called Antique Nightmares. Customers started asking questions. Some stopped showing up. Candace was behind it all. I knew it. She never came in person again, but I'd see that Bentley parked nearby every other day. Just sitting there. Watching. I tried to play it cool. Tried to keep my head down. But it got worse. One night, I came home to find my mailbox ripped out of the ground. Another time, someone keyed my truck. Deep lines across both doors. I filed reports. Cops shrugged. Could be kids, they said. I knew better. I finally hit my limit when my dog, Charlie, a gentle old lab, came in from the yard one night limping. Vet found a piece of chicken bone lodged in his throat, soaked in something that didn't smell right. That was the last straw. This wasn't petty anymore. This was war. They thought I was some pushover. Just a guy selling junk from a dusty shop. They didn't know I had more than antiques in my corner. They didn't know about my cousin Ray. Ray's not a thug. He's a retired Marine. Spent a few years overseas, then came back and started his own private security business. He works with law firms now, investigations, digital forensics, asset tracing. I told him everything. He just nodded. You want me to dig? I said yes. He spent a few weeks on it. Quiet. Low-key. I didn't see him much. But when he came back, he dropped a file on my kitchen table and said, "This goes deeper than you think." Candace wasn't just some trophy wife throwing tantrums. She was the one running the shell companies, the real estate deals, the private contractors who suddenly cared about my zoning violations. Her husband, Richard, was the face. But Candace? She was the knife behind the smile. And then Ray showed me something else. There was a new LLC filed just a week after the tow truck incident. Listed a property management company as its main holder. That same company had just put in a request with the city to rezone the entire block I was on from mixed-use retail to luxury condos. My shop was just step one. Candace wanted the whole block. A week after Ray gave me the file, I started noticing a woman coming into the shop. Friendly, mid-30s, short red hair, always asking about vintage mirrors and old books. Said her name was Tina. Real chatty. At first I thought she was just a regular customer. But something felt off. She never bought anything. Just asked a ton of questions, what time I opened, if I worked alone, how long I planned to stay in the building. Stuff that seemed harmless on the surface, but weird when you put it all together. One day I asked her if she lived nearby. "Oh, just moved in a few streets over," she said. "Working remote now. Thought I'd explore the neighborhood." That same day, Ray called me. Said he ran a face scan through one of his systems. Her real name was Katrina Moore. Former paralegal for a firm that handled, guess what? Real estate transitions for the Blevins family. Candace had sent her in. They weren't just pushing me out, they were watching me. Waiting for me to screw up. Maybe trying to find dirt. Or maybe just gauging how close I was to breaking. Ray was fired up. "They're not playing around," he said. "We hit back, or you get buried." And I was ready. I wasn't just going to fight to keep my shop. I was going to make sure Candace regretted ever stepping foot on my lot. I had to think like them. Wealthy people like Candace don't worry about right or wrong. They worry about risk. About losing things they can't replace: money, reputation, power. Ray had a contact in local news. Guy who owed him a favor from an old case. We started feeding him little pieces. Not everything. Just enough to get the ball rolling. I sent pictures of the flyers, the car blocking my truck, copies of the bogus inspection reports. Ray sent over proof that Candace owned the fake Facebook page through a proxy. It wasn't hard to trace when you knew what to look for. 2 weeks later, a headline ran in the local business section. Downtown antique shop targeted by developer's wife. Dirty tactics or business as usual? It didn't explode, but it stirred the pot. Comments poured in online. People started showing support, locals who had seen me around for years. Longtime customers sharing their stories. Small businesses rallying behind me. Candace didn't respond publicly, but the next day that Bentley? Gone. No more inspectors. No more flyers. I thought maybe I'd won. But then the fire happened. It was late. I'd stayed behind to clean up. Around 11 p.m., I was locking up when I smelled it: smoke. Not faint. Thick. Real. I ran to the back and saw the dumpster blazing. Flames licking up the side of the building. I grabbed the extinguisher and called 911, but by the time the fire department got there, one of my back walls was scorched. A few pieces inside were ruined. No one hurt, but it was close. The fire chief said it looked like arson. That same night, I saw it. Surveillance footage. I'd installed cameras after the fake inspector crap. At 10:37 p.m., a black SUV rolled by slow. Stopped. Someone in a hoodie got out, poured something near the dumpster, lit it, and ran. I couldn't see the face, But I saw the car. It was registered to one of Candace's shell companies. Ray told me not to go to the police yet. Let them keep feeling safe, he said. We'll burn them slower. Ray got into one of the phones tied to Candace's consulting firm. He played me a recording. It was short, but enough. Candace's voice. Get it done before the board meets. That shop should be gone by next quarter. I don't care how. Just keep it quiet. That was it. But Ray had traced the call. The recording was legal. South Carolina only needs one-party consent. And with the fire, the threats, the fake reviews, all documented, that one line was enough. Ray started talking to a lawyer he knew. I stayed quiet, waited, watched, and then Candace showed up one last time. This time, she didn't come in a limo. She came alone, dressed casual, big sunglasses. No clipboard ladies or tiny dogs. She walked in like nothing happened. I think we got off on the wrong foot, she said, as if the last 2 months had been some kind of misunderstanding. I didn't speak. I'm offering double, she said. Cash. Walk away. No more trouble. I stared at her. Or, she added, I make a few calls and your insurance finds something wrong with your fire protocols. Accidents happen. That was it. She'd just threatened me. Again. In my shop. On camera. This time, I smiled. Because she didn't know what was coming. She had no idea I was recording. I'd installed a mic right under the front counter after the fire, just in case she or one of her goons tried something again. That threat about my fire protocols? It was crystal clear on tape. After she left, I sent the recording to Ray. Within an hour, our lawyer had it in the hands of the city's Business Oversight Committee, the local fire marshal's office, and, thanks to Ray's connections, a quiet contact at the state attorney general's office. But I wasn't done. I released the footage too. Everything. The limo blocking my truck. The fake inspector notes. The Facebook pages. The footage of the SUV tied to her shell company near the fire. All of it went to the same reporter we'd worked with before. This time, it wasn't just a business story. It made the front page. Local business targeted. Developer's wife caught in arson, extortion scandal. Charleston blew up. Everyone had a story about Candace Blevins or someone like her. Old money types who thought the rules didn't apply to them. The news didn't pull punches either. They used her name, her face, even her voice. The fallout hit fast. City officials launched a formal investigation. Inspectors she'd sent started talking. Said they were pushed into harassing businesses by her office. One guy admitted he was offered cash bonuses to find code violations that didn't exist. The fire department opened an arson case, and now that the SUV was linked to her company, they had real reason to dig. She tried to deny it, of course. Went on a local station, did the fake cry routine. They're attacking me because I'm successful, she said. This man is bitter because I didn't move my car. Nobody bought it. Then came the kicker. Richard Blevins, her husband, filed for divorce. Publicly. Turns out, he didn't know the full extent of what she was doing either. According to his statement, her private business activities had put his entire real estate empire at risk. He was cutting her off. Candace was rich on paper. But without Richard, she had no power. No connections. And once lawyers started sniffing around her companies, the IRS joined in too. Funny how that works. In all the fire and fury, I'd made mistakes. I let the fight consume me. I'd stopped sleeping right. Stopped talking to friends. Even pushed away my brother when he tried to get me to let it go. You won, man, he said. What more do you want? But it wasn't about winning anymore. I wanted her to hurt. That was the part I'm not proud of. I wasn't satisfied with justice. I wanted revenge. And I got it. Candace lost everything. Her reputation. Her power. Her marriage. She's being sued from 3 different directions now. And last I heard, she's moved out of the big glass mansion and into a condo in Mount Pleasant. No staff. No limo. Just her and a lawyer on speed dial. As for me, I kept the shop, rebuilt the back wall, added security cameras and motion lights everywhere. Business has never been better. People come by just to say they read the story. Some buy something, others just shake my hand. But sometimes late at night, when I lock up and head to my truck, I still look over my shoulder. Because people like Candace? They don't forget. And neither do I.